Hey guys, it's Keegan here. I'm going to do a little week ahead video here on the setups that I'm looking at, HSI, how I'm reading it, and I've got a few things I'm looking at here at SPY, IWM, and gold as well. So I'm going to run through a few of these and just show you how I'm reading HSI on these and what I'm expecting in the week to come. So I'm starting with SPY right here, spiders. You may have seen my post on TradingView. I pointed out this bearish bat last week, and so now we're into the type 2 of that bat. So we had a really textbook type 1 reversal. I mean, that thing was like pretty much, looked like it was pretty much to the tick on the reversal, and we had a very rapid sell-off. So all totally textbook right there. And so we are in the type 2. It looks like it's wanting to break out right now. Obviously, we had this huge gap into the PRZ. HSI has not even begun to turn around yet. So it's looking pretty bullish at the moment. So this is sort of our last ditch effort. There's still certainly, this is still a valid pattern. We still certainly could have a type 2 reversal here. So I wouldn't rule that out at all, but let's look at the bigger trend here. Okay, so this is obviously biased towards breaking out. So I would expect this to continue to the upside just based off of this this overall strength. So we'll see how it goes, but these are the kinds of setups that I don't like to trade. I don't like to be shorting at new highs. I used to do stuff like that a lot more. I was a lot more biased towards that, but typically I like to stand aside when at new highs. I'm not going to be the one who's shorting. It's a lot easier to be the one who's buying on a smaller time frame. So you know, I'm not necessarily loving this for sure, but this is another last-ditch effort for a sell-off here on the S&P based off of this bat. Okay, so we've got this GLD. This one's a lot more of a trend-friendly setup. This is actually down to 15, so this is going to be outdated really quickly, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this video because this is going to be obsolete in like a few hours, basically. But we do have a buy trigger here on HSI, and we've got a bullish bat, and this is very with the flow of the instrument. So I'm not going to look too closely at the trend lines here or anything like that, but just in terms of we're coming into the Pi bands on the 60. Here we are right here. Okay, so we're tapping those. HSI is kind of in a no man's land on the 60-minute chart, but at 15, we've got a little buy triggers. So I like this bat pretty good, personally, but we'll see what happens there. And then IWM. Okay, so back to the 60-minute chart. We're coming to this shark. Okay, now there are a couple options for this shark. Typically I'm going to go with the biggest possible one. And you can see me draw that right here. So we've got this one, and then we've got this bigger shark right here. Oops. There it is. Okay, so right there. So this is the full swing shark up here. The reason I'm looking at this one is because I'm seeing this as a bearish harmonic impulse, this little check mark pattern right here. You can look that up if you need to look up the details. That's one of the more obscure harmonic patterns, but I've got this harmonic impulse. It's a building block of the shark. And what I'm mainly looking at is this 1618 right here. You can't really read it because it's in yellow, but this is the 1618, and I went ahead and marked that with an alert line right here. And I'm just going to make that red. Okay, there you go. So now it's super obvious. All right, so that's the level that I'm mainly watching for right here. Now, even though this is a sell level, this actually makes me bullish because what I'm expecting is for price to reach that level at this point, especially given HSI right here. So this is probably my favorite HSI setup in this video. Yeah, we got a little bearish pattern right there, but that's nothing to write home about. Okay, so what I like about HSI on the 60, even on the 30 a little bit, but especially the 60, we're coming out of oversold, we're triggering out of oversold, and we've got price very strong right here. So this is a classic HSI situation that you really never see this on any other kind of oscillator. Is price nothing but upside right here, but HSI was tanking. And it tanked just enough to give us this oversold trigger and pop back out. So a lot of times you're going to see HSI doing completely different things from price. So when people always gripe about indicators being lagging, that's one area where HSI is completely different because it's not just doing the same thing as price, but more slowly. So we've got this trigger out of there. To me, that's a very bullish sign. Not that I would just buy it here on the 60-minute chart or anything. I'd never buy breakouts personally, but looking for maybe a 15-minute pattern to form like this. I'm not going to put a lot of stock in, but maybe the next 15-minute bullish pattern that we form, something like that. That's the kind of setup that I'm going to be very partial to. Even really the 5 minutes, we are pretty close to that level at this point, but like a 5 or 15-minute. So I'm trying to stick more to the long term here, but that's the kind of stuff I'm noticing at the moment. IWM, GLD, that's pretty much it for now. If I spot anything on the NASDAQ, I might do another video there. We haven't broken out on this one yet, so it's always interesting to see the different indexes do things at their own paces. So just a couple things I saw this morning when I brought up the charts. I hope it's something for you guys, and let me know if you have any questions. Until next time, happy trading.